The moment you are experiencing right now is far from accidental. It is not a coincidence that your eyes have landed on this message, nor that your spirit has felt a stirring of anticipation and awareness. This moment has been divinely orchestrated. From the very foundations of heaven, God has carefully positioned you at this precise intersection of time, purpose, and spiritual alignment. Everything you have faced until now, the waiting, the praying, the seasons of silence, has been part of a preparation uniquely tailored to ready you for what is coming. There is urgency in this message, because the days ahead are pivotal. They are decisive, and your posture in this season will determine the degree of breakthrough, restoration, and elevation your household will experience. You are not here by accident. You are chosen. You have been strategically placed in a family, a lineage, and a community that God intends to use for profound transformation. Your life has been a weaving of divine preparation, each moment of struggle, doubt, and persistence forming the spiritual readiness required for the wave that is now approaching. There is a call to rise not merely for your personal growth, but for the awakening of your household, your family, and the generations that follow. The seeds planted in your prayers, in your faith, and in your daily acts of obedience are about to germinate into manifestations that are both tangible and eternal. The Lord is preparing a harvest in your life that will ripple beyond your home, touching your neighborhood, your community, and even places you cannot yet see. As Habakkuk 1-5 declares, the magnitude of what God is about to do is so immense that even if it were announced, it would be hard to believe. Yet, what seems impossible to human understanding is already in motion in the spiritual realm. This is a call to spiritual, mental, and emotional readiness. Position yourself to receive by quieting the distractions of the world and aligning your heart with God's timing. Gather your household and prepare them to share this word, not with anxiety, but with faith and expectation. Speak life over your home, for God is about to bring alignment, clarity, and transformation. Every act of readiness, every prayer whispered, every decision made in faith is a step closer to unlocking the blessings that have long been promised to you. This season is not for hesitation, it is for bold obedience. Your willingness to say yes now will set into motion a chain of events that reverberate far beyond the walls of your home. As you engage with this message, I invite you to participate actively. Type Amen in the comments as a public declaration of your readiness, signaling not only your personal alignment, but also your commitment to the spiritual awakening unfolding within your household. This simple act of faith is a marker of obedience, a recognition that you understand the urgency and responsibility of this season. It is a moment to stand tall, to affirm that you are prepared to step into the divine assignment placed upon you. And finally, stay with me until the very end of this video, for we will close with a powerful prayer that seals everything God is about to do in your life. This is not just an ordinary prayer. It is a spiritual alignment, a declaration of readiness, and a celebration of divine orchestration. The transformation awaiting you is personal, yet it carries eternal implications for your family and legacy. Heaven is moving, and the only requirement for you is to position yourself fully, trusting that the promises spoken over your life are now ready to manifest in ways beyond imagination. As we step further into this message, it becomes essential to recognize the profound impact your spiritual awakening has not only on you, but on your entire household and even your broader community. The divine shift that is approaching does not act in isolation. It radiates outward, touching every corner of your family, influencing the generations that follow and shaping the environment around you. You have been chosen not merely for personal elevation, but to be a vessel through which God's transformative power flows into the lives of those connected to you. Your calling is deeply intertwined with the destiny of your household, and understanding this truth is the first step in walking confidently into the season ahead. God has been preparing you through every hardship, every season of waiting, and every challenge that once felt unbearable. What may have seemed like disappointment, delay, or even failure, has been part of a divine curriculum, carefully designed to equip you with wisdom, resilience, and discernment. Joel 2:25 reminds us that the Lord restores the years that the locusts have eaten, a promise that speaks not only to personal restoration but to the renewal of your family's legacy. The burdens you have carried, the moments of loneliness or misunderstanding, and the challenges of guiding your household have not been wasted. They have been shaping you into the one who can lead with both authority and humility. Every trial has been a preparation for this pivotal season, positioning you to receive what heaven has been orchestrating for your family. But readiness requires more than anticipation. It requires alignment. True alignment begins in posture, in the heart, and in spiritual discipline. Prayer becomes more than ritual. It becomes a bridge that connects your household to divine strategy. Obedience is not optional. It is the pathway through which blessings flow. Humility is the lens through which you discern God's timing, recognizing that the unseen is already in motion, even when human eyes cannot perceive it. Just as Noah faithfully built the ark while the world mocked and doubted, you too are being called to prepare for the invisible shift. Your actions, grounded in faith and obedience, are creating the infrastructure for blessings, restoration, and protection over your household. You may not yet see the full magnitude of what is coming, but your faithful preparation is already securing it. Obedience does not only safeguard your personal journey, it becomes the conduit for broader restoration. Every act of faith you take, every prayer whispered, and every decision made in alignment with God's will produces a ripple effect that transforms relationships, reconciles broken bonds, and unlocks favor that extends beyond your immediate family. Genesis 50-20 reminds us that what others intended for harm, God can turn toward good, toward restoration, healing, and legacy building. Your faithfulness now has the power to rewrite narratives, turning long-held pain into testimonies of divine orchestration. Children who were distant spiritually, family members who struggled with doubt, and communities that have felt the absence of hope will all witness the fruit of your obedience. This is the essence of the divine shift. It begins within you, radiates through your household, and resonates outward into the lives of those around you, demonstrating that God's timing, power, and wisdom are perfect. In this season, your household is not simply receiving blessings, it is being positioned as a beacon of God's transformative work. The restoration of your family, the realignment of relationships, and the unveiling of promise are contingent upon your posture of faith, prayer, and obedience. You are stepping into a moment where the past preparation meets present action, where divine orchestration converges with human alignment. The shift is happening now, and your readiness will determine the magnitude of what flows into your home, your lineage, and your community. Walk forward with courage, for your faith is becoming the foundation of a legacy that will endure for generations. As we continue to explore the divine orchestration at work in your life and household, it becomes clear that the transformation awaiting you is both profound and multifaceted. This is not a moment limited to personal breakthroughs or isolated blessings. It is a divine unveiling that encompasses your family, your relationships, and the legacy you are actively shaping through obedience and faith. The choices you make now, the posture you maintain in prayer, and the persistence you demonstrate in faith are all laying the foundation for a breakthrough that transcends material gain and reaches into the spiritual, emotional, and relational dimensions of your household. Obedience and faith are the pillars upon which this transformation rests. Every act of alignment, every step taken in trust, even when the path is unclear, serves as a seed that heaven is preparing to multiply. Your faithfulness, even in small things, demonstrates a readiness to receive the fullness of what God has ordained for your family. Remember, this shift is not a random occurrence or a fleeting moment of fortune. It is the culmination of preparation, prayer, and perseverance, a carefully timed revelation of God's plan that has been unfolding behind the scenes. Just as you have nurtured your family spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, so too is heaven nurturing the conditions for manifestation. The breakthrough coming to your household is holistic. It involves healing of old wounds, reconciliation where relationships have frayed, and the restoration of what was once thought lost. The divine plan does not overlook the subtle, quiet corners of your family's life. Hearts that have grown distant, bonds weakened by misunderstanding, and unspoken conflicts will be addressed through the power of God's intervention. You will witness transformations that are tangible and invisible at once, visible in renewed relationships and a sense of peace, invisible in the deep alignment of hearts and souls with divine purpose. This is why your persistence in faith matters. Each prayer spoken, each act of love, each decision to forgive or reconcile contributes to the larger unfolding of God's perfect design. Testing and refining moments have been integral to this preparation. Just as Joseph endured betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment before ascending to his God-given position, you too are experiencing the trials that prepare you for unprecedented breakthroughs. James 1:23 reminds us that the testing of faith produces perseverance. And it is through this refinement that your household is being equipped to receive both the responsibility and the reward of divine favor. What may have felt like setbacks or delays were, in reality, the crucible in which your readiness and endurance were being forged. These moments sharpen your discernment, deepen your trust, and position your family to fully embrace the blessings coming your way. Walking in faith will produce transformation far beyond financial or material gain. The restoration that is unfolding will touch the very fabric of your family life. Hearts softened, divisions healed, and legacies rewritten. Children who once seemed distant spiritually will reconnect. Relationships strained by past misunderstandings will be reconciled. And the energy within your household will shift in ways that cannot be ignored. This transformation is holistic, integrating spiritual, emotional, and relational dimensions, demonstrating that God's work in your family is intentional, powerful, and enduring. It is a divine testimony that your obedience and persistence have not been in vain. Ultimately, this is the season where the invisible becomes visible, where faith produces fruit, and where your household will begin to reflect the fullness of God's plan. The shift is not only imminent, it is already in motion. As you continue to walk faithfully, the restoration, healing, and breakthroughs will manifest, not by your effort alone but through the unmistakable hand of God orchestrating every detail for the good of your family and for generations to come. Prepare to witness a transformation that is as enduring as it is profound, a breakthrough that is rooted in faith, obedience, and the unwavering trust in God's perfect timing. As the divine shift continues to unfold in your household, it is crucial to recognize that the blessings you are about to receive are not meant to remain confined within your home. The impact of your faithfulness, obedience, and perseverance is expansive, reaching far beyond your immediate family to touch neighborhoods, communities, and spiritual networks that have long been waiting for God's intervention. This is the time when what was once broken is restored, when scattered elements are gathered, and when hearts previously hardened are softened by the unmistakable movement of heaven. Joel 2:28 declares, "I will pour out my spirit on all people," and in this season, that promise is coming to life in ways both profound and visible. Your household is positioned as a conduit for divine acceleration, a living testimony of God's faithfulness and power. Broken bonds that have caused division, pain, and silence are being healed. Relationships that were once fraught with misunderstanding or estrangement are finding reconciliation. Hearts that have felt distant, either through conflict, loss, or neglect, are being drawn together by the unseen but powerful hand of God. This restoration is not only emotional, but spiritual. It carries a depth that resonates with the very identity of those involved. What may have seemed impossible, what may have seemed delayed for decades, is now being drawn into alignment. Psalm 126:3 declares, "The Lord has done great things for us, and we are filled with joy." This joy is a reflection not only of personal blessing but of the ripple effect that your faithfulness produces in the lives of others. As your family experiences internal transformation, the outward manifestation of blessings becomes undeniable. The energy, harmony, and spiritual alignment within your household begin to radiate outward, touching neighbors, workplaces, and community structures. People who once doubted, criticized, or dismissed your faith journey will witness the undeniable evidence of God's hand at work. These breakthroughs are not confined to material gain, though provision may certainly be part of it. They are holistic, affecting emotional resilience, relational depth, spiritual awareness, and communal influence. Your home becomes a beacon, a sanctuary of faith that demonstrates to others the reality of God's promises when obedience meets divine timing. Divine acceleration is another hallmark of this season. What once required years of waiting is now unfolding in days or weeks. The timing is precise, orchestrated by a God who knows not only the trajectory of your household but also the generational implications of each blessing. Isaiah 43:18-19 reminds us to forget the former things and perceive the new work God is doing. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? The long-awaited promises that once felt distant are being delivered with speed and precision, reflecting a divine timetable rather than human expectation. This acceleration magnifies the power of obedience, prayer, and consistent faith as the catalysts for transformation. Ultimately, this generational and community impact reinforces the truth that your faith is never isolated. Every step you take in alignment, every act of humility, and every decision to walk faithfully contributes to a ripple effect that extends beyond your household. You are not only participating in personal breakthrough, you are helping to establish a legacy of restoration, hope, and divine influence. The gathering of the scattered, the healing of broken bonds, and the manifestation of both internal and external blessings are proof that God's hand is actively shaping not just your life, but the lives of all those connected to your sphere of influence. This is a season where your obedience unlocks blessings that reach far and wide, touching communities, networks, and generations yet unborn. As the waves of transformation begin to ripple outward from your household, it becomes clear that the heart of every breakthrough lies in your readiness, both internal and spiritual. The blessings you are about to receive will not fully manifest without a foundation of deep, personal alignment. Before the visible signs of God's favor appear, be it restored relationships, provision, or unexpected opportunities, there must be a thorough internal transformation. This is a season of sanctification, of soul-deep preparation, where your character, faith, and spiritual posture are refined. Just as a seed must be nurtured in the darkness of the soil before it sprouts, so too must your heart, mind, and spirit be aligned with heaven's timing before the fullness of your breakthrough is revealed. Understanding the generational dimension of this season is vital. The decisions you make today, the prayers you pray, and the obedience you demonstrate will ripple far beyond your immediate experience. Proverbs 20:7 affirms, "The righteous lead blameless lives. Blessed are their children after them." Every act of faith, every moment of perseverance, and every demonstration of humility establishes a foundation for your children and grandchildren. Your legacy is being written not only in the visible outcomes of today, but in the generational inheritance of faith, wisdom, and divine favor. The spiritual seeds sown in obedience now will bloom in the lives of those who come after you, creating a lineage marked not by mere survival but by purpose, integrity, and divine alignment. Practical actions serve as the conduit for readiness. Prayer, posture, and intentional alignment are not optional. They are essential. Begin each day by setting your mind and spirit on heaven's agenda. Speak life over your household, over your circumstances, and over the relationships that matter most. Create sacred rhythms that remind your soul to remain attuned to God's voice. Moments of stillness, meditation on scripture, journaling your experiences, and daily thanksgiving. These seemingly small disciplines compound over time, creating a spiritual resilience that positions you to receive accelerated blessings. Every act of obedience, no matter how unnoticed it may seem, becomes a cornerstone for the manifestation of God's promises. Readiness also means cultivating patience and awareness of divine timing. Blessings often arrive with precision, aligned to moments that will maximize their impact. Accelerated breakthroughs do not bypass preparation. Rather, they reward those who have laid the groundwork through consistent faithfulness. To be ready is to maintain a posture of humility, expectation, and vigilance. It is to understand that what appears as delay is often a divine strategy, giving your household, your relationships, and your character the space to be perfectly aligned for what is about to unfold. Ultimately, readiness and legacy building are inseparable. Spiritual preparedness today ensures that the transformative blessings are sustainable, deeply rooted, and far-reaching. Your household is not merely a recipient of divine favor, it is a beacon, a living testament to the power of obedience and faith. The alignment you cultivate now will allow every breakthrough to cascade through your family, community, and future generations, establishing a legacy that reflects God's glory and faithfulness. This is not a moment to passively wait. It is a time to actively engage, to prepare, and to step confidently into the destiny that God has designed for you, ensuring that your obedience today becomes the foundation for a flourishing and eternal legacy. As the seeds of spiritual alignment take root within your heart, the next step is learning to live out your divine calling in tangible, daily ways. Faith is not only activated in moments of extraordinary circumstances, it is cultivated in the seemingly ordinary rhythms of life. Small, consistent acts of faith, kindness, and service become the bricks that build a lasting legacy. Every intentional gesture helping a neighbor, offering a word of encouragement, or practicing patience in moments of frustration carries weight in the spiritual realm. These are the hidden, quiet actions that heaven honors and multiplies, often in ways that far exceed human comprehension. Journaling, gratitude, and forgiveness are essential tools in this journey of daily faithfulness. Writing down your prayers, reflections, and observations allows you to track the hand of God moving through your life, creating a living testimony of faith. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into spiritual milestones, drawing your focus to God's presence even amid challenges. Forgiveness is not merely a personal release but a transformative act that clears the way for restoration and blessing. Letting go of past offenses, grudges, and disappointments unburdens your soul and creates space for divine favor to flow freely into your household. By integrating these disciplines into your daily routine, you actively align yourself with the frequency of heaven, cultivating receptivity for both visible and unseen blessings. Equally important is the deliberate release of old patterns that hinder future favor. Habits, mindsets, or emotional wounds that no longer serve the divine purposes for your life must be surrendered. This act of intentional letting go is not a sign of weakness, but of spiritual maturity. It demonstrates readiness to receive what God is preparing, ensuring that your hands and heart are uncluttered for the work ahead. Stewardship of blessing begins with preparation, caring for your physical health, nurturing your emotional well-being, and remaining vigilant in your spiritual disciplines. By tending to yourself holistically, you position yourself to steward every gift, opportunity, and breakthrough with wisdom, humility, and integrity. Living faithfully is not a solitary endeavor. It carries communal implications. As you embody obedience and alignment, you naturally influence those around you. Your household, neighbors, and extended community witness the tangible effects of a life surrendered to God. Supporting others in their journey, offering guidance, and walking publicly in faith amplify the impact of your personal obedience. Your actions ripple outward, creating an environment where faith, hope, and restoration can flourish collectively. This communal dimension transforms personal discipline into a shared legacy, showing that what begins in your home can inspire and uplift entire networks of people. Ultimately, practical daily faithfulness transforms spiritual potential into lived reality. It is in the consistent, intentional acts of devotion, service, and alignment that the promises of God become tangible. Every prayer spoken, every act of kindness, every step taken in obedience contributes to a legacy that extends beyond your immediate life. As you embrace this rhythm, you are not merely waiting for blessings. You are actively preparing, cultivating, and participating in the unfolding of God's divine plan. Your faithfulness today ensures that every breakthrough, every restoration, and every manifestation of favor will be sustainable, generational, and glorifying to God. By walking faithfully in the ordinary, you become a living testimony of heaven's extraordinary work in your household and beyond. As we move from practical faithfulness into the realm of prayer and spiritual activation, it becomes clear that what you do in the quiet of your home carries eternal significance. The act of praying with intention is not just ritual, it is a powerful declaration that marks the beginning of transformation for your household and family. When we lift our voices to God with humility and faith, we are participating in a sacred process that sets divine forces into motion. This is more than words spoken aloud. It is the activation of heaven's promises within the very walls of your home. Every room, every relationship, and every latent potential in your family becomes a recipient of divine attention, poised to shift in alignment with God's perfect plan. In this moment of prayer, we invoke the restoration of what has been lost, the healing of what has been wounded, and the breaking of generational patterns that have held back blessings for far too long. This is a time to ask God to remove any barriers, seen or unseen, that have limited your family's spiritual, emotional, or relational growth. The power of prayer reaches beyond human effort, creating an atmosphere where reconciliation becomes possible. Broken relationships are mended, and the seeds of peace and unity are sown in hearts that have been hardened by disappointment or pain. Through prayer, we are aligning ourselves with God's restorative work, allowing Him to take what has been dormant and transform it into flourishing life. Equally vital is the declaration of readiness and faith. Responding aloud, "My family is walking into breakthrough," is not merely a symbolic act, it is a covenantal statement of alignment with heaven's timing. By making this declaration, you are affirming your willingness to obey, to trust, and to take the steps necessary to participate in the unfolding of divine promises. It is an acknowledgement that your role is active, that your faith is participatory, and that your household is ready to receive the fullness of what God has prepared. This simple yet profound response demonstrates not only trust, but also the courage to move forward in obedience, even when the path is unseen or uncertain. As you continue in this season, humility and vigilance remain essential. Spiritual activation requires attentiveness, both in nurturing your personal faith and in safeguarding your household from distraction, pride, or fear. Maintaining daily practices of prayer, meditation, and discernment ensures that the breakthrough you are stepping into is sustainable and grounded in alignment with God's truth. Obedience becomes the conduit for ongoing favor, and vigilance becomes the protective boundary that preserves the sanctity of your household's spiritual journey. Finally, engagement with the wider spiritual community amplifies the impact of your faith. By subscribing, remaining connected, and participating in shared teachings, you ensure that you are continually strengthened, encouraged, and equipped to walk in the fullness of God's plan. Every prayer spoken, every act of faith, and every declaration made becomes a link in a greater chain of divine purpose, ensuring that your household does not walk alone but in concert with a network of awakened, like-minded believers. This moment of prayer is both a seal and a springboard, an invitation to walk boldly, expectantly, and faithfully into the transformative work that God is doing in your life and the lives of those you love. As we come to the closing of this message, it is vital to understand that the work of God does not pause with the end of a video or the final words spoken in prayer. This is not a single moment in isolation. It is the beginning of an ongoing journey of awakening, expectation, and readiness. The spiritual movement you are stepping into is continuous, and staying rooted in faith, humility, And vigilance ensures that the blessings and transformations you have been praying for will not only manifest but also endure. Just as a tree grows steadily from deep roots before it bears fruit, your household and your family will flourish as long as you remain firmly anchored in God's truth and guidance. Being expectant is more than hope. It is an active posture of readiness. Expectation fuels perseverance, allowing you to walk through daily life with eyes open to opportunities for breakthrough, healing, and divine encounters. It is a mindset that refuses to be discouraged by delays or setbacks, knowing that every season of waiting is a season of preparation. When you remain alert and intentional in your spiritual disciplines, prayer, meditation, scripture reflection, and acts of faith, you position yourself to recognize and receive God's timing perfectly. This expectancy is contagious. It spreads through your household, shaping attitudes, behaviors, and hearts toward unity, faithfulness, and divine alignment. Transformation, however, does not stop at your own family. The impact of your obedience and preparedness extends into the broader community, influencing neighbors, friends, and even the networks of relationships that may seem distant. God's purpose is generational and exponential. What begins in your home has the capacity to ripple outward, touching lives you may never see or meet. This is why remaining vigilant, consistent, and faithful in your daily walk is so crucial. Each act of service, each word of encouragement, each prayer lifted in your home becomes part of a divine tapestry of blessing that strengthens the spiritual fabric of your community. You are not merely participating in your own transformation. You are co-laboring with God to raise up a legacy of faith, peace, and restoration for generations. Remember, divine timing is perfect. What you have been awaiting is aligning in ways that cannot be rushed or forced. Your role is to stay ready, to keep walking in truth, and to cultivate a household and a life that reflect God's presence, power, and purpose. Patience and readiness go hand in hand. While God moves mightily, He also waits for hearts that are prepared and aligned. Your obedience today ensures that when the next wave of spiritual movement comes, you and your household will be fully equipped to receive, steward, and multiply the blessings that God is releasing. Finally, take this moment to internalize that the awakening you are experiencing is ongoing. It is not confined to this video or this particular season. It is a lifelong invitation to remain aligned, expectant, and fully engaged in God's plan. Continue to speak life over your family, remain vigilant in prayer, and walk boldly in faith. The divine shift is unfolding before you, and every step you take in alignment carries eternal significance. Your household, your legacy, and your generations are being positioned for remarkable fulfillment. Stay rooted, stay expectant, and stay ready, for the best is yet to come, and the movement of God in your life will echo for generations to witness and glorify His name.